Welcome back to Biz Asia America. The president of Vietnam is making his first trip to Washington this week. Now today, he met with the Secretary of State, John Kerry, and a visit with the President Barack Obama is expected tomorrow. The meetings come at a time when there's momentum behind the U.S.-led Trans-Pacific Partnership. The deal could greatly benefit Vietnam. Jessica Stone reports.
First, I want to welcome everyone to Washington, D.C.
Business leaders accompanying Vietnamese President Truong Tan Sang on his first visit to Washington, D.C. met for lunch Wednesday to work on furthering bilateral investment between the nations. Over dumplings and egg drop soup, the conversation largely turned on the ongoing negotiations to create an American-led free trade agreement called the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Everything that made in Vietnam, produced in Vietnam, and within the TPP bloc, the tariff going to be 0%. I think with that, possibly Vietnam GDP would possibly grow by as much as 40%.
Vietnam's economy stands to gain the most of any other economy because at $141 billion last year, it's among the smallest economies of the 12 nations currently negotiating the trade agreement. Vietnam is projecting as high as 6% economic growth for 2014, so business leaders are anxious to attract foreign direct investment from the U.S., especially to help them build their public infrastructure. Stephen Lee works with Fortune 500 companies interested in investing in Vietnam.
Private sector businesses, they are trying to reach out to their private sector counterparts in Vietnam and vice versa. And there is certainly a lot of people looking to try and just be connected.
But as U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry noted before his lunch with President Sang Wednesday, Vietnam has a long way to go to meet international norms on labor standards and human rights.
That normalization could not have occurred without honest conversation, without candor between Washington and Hanoi, even on sensitive issues such as human rights.
Still, David Ho points out that Hanoi might balk at any discussion about human rights as hypocritical. In the late 1990s, an American auditing firm found Vietnamese in unsafe working conditions making shoes for the U.S. athletic wear company Nike.
The human rights records of those companies, if we broke them down into countries, is pretty dismal. So from that perspective, we just need to balance what we believe.
One economist I spoke with said it could take Vietnam 10 to 15 years to be able to comply with all of the stringent demands of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. But the possible removal of all tariffs with major trading partners like Japan and the United States is a very big draw for this major emerging economy. Jessica Stone, CCTV, Washington.